What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. I think this is a really important one. I think it's something people tend to forget to think about, myself included. But I want to talk about the pursuit of getting towards your goals, of going after that thing you want to do or accomplish, and having a more fun and fulfilling time for yourself. The purpose of this one is to remind you that you're capable, remind you that you do have what it takes, and remind you to have some fun during the process. Because one of the main things a lot of us can have in common is being overly focused on the goal. And focusing on the goal is good. You want to have the vision and consistency and visualize the success, but having that strong laser focus on your goal and on your goal only can eventually lead to stress, and that can lead to getting burnt out. And that ain't the point. You're sucking all the fun out of it, out of that pursuit. And another thing that happens is when you get so focused on all the things you need to do, all the steps you still haven't taken yet, all the tasks and the milestones you have to get to and do, you don't take the time to step back and see all the things you are doing, all the progress you have made, the person you are becoming. And you rob yourself of all that fun and fulfillment, and also that pride and feeling proud of yourself for how far you came. And even though we're only a few weeks in the new year, if you listen to me right now in real time, it's only been about 4 weeks? Yeah. So by the time I release this, is going to be the end of the month. You can be making the mistake of not recognizing the process that you made already. It hasn't even been a full month yet, and you're making progress. Even if it's small, it's progress. More than what you would have made if you just sat on your couch, right? Don't be so focused on the end goal that you forget about that progress. Or another thing a lot of people do, another mistake we make, is we make our goals too complex. We make this intricate morning routine. We have these big lofty goals that we didn't take the time to break down into smaller bite-sized goals. We try and do too much at one time. We try to multitask, which is not a real thing. It's literally impossible to multitask. And what happens? We get overwhelmed. And that ain't a good thing either. We should be falling in love with the process. I know that might sound cliche, but it's important. We need to fall in love with the process, and don't wait to feel proud later. Feel proud now, right now. So let's talk about it. So why do we set goals in the first place? Well, on top of whatever tangible thing that goals can give us, whether it's money or a job or a home, a diploma, a business, weight loss. On top of that, we crave that feeling of what accomplishing that goal does. We want to feel that accomplishment. So how can we prevent some of this overwhelmness, this burnout, and these moments that rob us from pride and joy and love for what we're doing? Well, it's actually simple. What you need to do is ask yourself, how can you get some of that feeling you'll get when you accomplish that goal right now? How can we get some of that end goal success, that accomplishment celebration feeling right now? Because look, we can be our own worst critics, right? If you know me, then you know that's a fact. We get caught up in how far we got to go instead of how far we came. But the fact of the matter is this: if you delay that joy and celebration, you also delay dopamine hits. And that dopamine is that thing that gets you excited. It gets you feeling good in order to keep going in the direction that you need to go. And if you rob yourself of that, then what you end up becoming is somebody who's just going through the motions. And that's when it's definitely not fun. It feels like a chore. It's harder to keep working on it, right? You have to force yourself to do it at that point, and that feels robotic. And maybe you're doing that right now. And if you are, the last thing I want for you to do is to work and work and work and work. And let's say you get to the end and you accomplish your goal, I don't want you to look back and feel like it wasn't even worth it because you had such a bad time. It wasn't fun. You hated it. It was hard. And now you feel like it ain't worth it. And on top of that, it's going to make you have a lot more hesitation and reserve when it comes to going after other goals. You're going to look at all the ways this journey sucked, and all you'll be able to see and focus on is how hard it's going to be. If you rob yourself of these little dopamine hits, these small celebrations, you're robbing yourself of pride and opportunities to build confidence. And that proud feeling is going to be something that helps you keep going. So instead of waiting to get to the end of your goal to feel it, let's focus on feeling it right now in pursuit. How can I get some of that feeling from accomplishing my goal right now? Well, the first thing we need to do is figure out what's underneath that goal. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you want to be an author. Let's say you want to write a best-selling book. Well, let's take a look at what's underneath that. What if you want to write that best-selling book so you can feel validated? That, hey, I'm a dope writer and I know I'm a dope writer. And look, I showed the world I'm a dope writer because my book is a bestseller. And hey, I know that will feel good, right? Me as an actor, if any actor would be honest with you, they will tell you that, hey, it feels damn good when you come out to bow and the crowd cheers. It feels damn good to get a standing ovation. That validation that, hey, we loved your performance. We think you're talented. That just feels good. Or let's say you want to write a best-selling book because you want to be somebody who leaves their mark on this world. You want to positively impact the world and be remembered and revered as somebody who made a difference. Or maybe it's an approval thing, right? Like you want to have that status. You want to be able to walk in the room and people point and say, you see her, see him? That's a best-selling author. Maybe it's all about the fame for you and you want to be the person signing autographs and taking pictures with folks on the street. Whatever the reason is, and these are all reasons, and obviously there are many more reasons we want to go after things. And there can be good motives and there can be bad motives. Some motives might be the ones to just get us started, right? Those external validation motives, the vanity motives, or bad motives like wanting to get back at somebody by becoming something so great, wanting to get back at somebody by becoming something so great that they wish they never let you go. Or maybe somebody did you wrong and you want to work and build a business to put them out of business or make them have to work for you. Whatever that motive is. And the point is, it's not about finding a worthy or an unworthy motive, but to be honest with yourself. And when you think to yourself about what accomplishing that goal means, you can then figure out how can I get some of those feelings and some of that fulfillment before I even accomplish it. So I can stay excited about the process and going down this path of getting there without feeling overwhelmed or burnt out. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here and let's get back to it. So maybe what that looks like on the road to you becoming that best-selling author, right, is you taking the opportunity to start writing blogs. Maybe you write and post on Instagram daily. You get good at writing for an audience that immediately reads your words. Or you could publish your written content somewhere else. Maybe you pitch your content to online magazines or websites. Things you can do as you're working towards that goal. Or if you feel like you just want to start writing the book, then start writing the book. You can write a book that matters to you and get excited about it, right? You can celebrate your progress as you go along. You can get excited and feel proud after each chapter. Like, yeah, that was a good chapter. I put that together nicely. You can celebrate the moment. You get to a point where you feel like you're halfway done. And you can take that moment and reflect and say, damn, not too long ago, this idea was still in my head. And look at me now. I'm halfway done. You can do all these things now in real time as you're pursuing it instead of waiting for the book to be done or waiting for the book to start selling. You can celebrate it now, during the process. It's up to you to define success. It's up to you to find those little milestones. If you keep waiting for that quote unquote moment you arrive or the moment success comes, again, you're robbing yourself of those dopamine hits. You're stealing your own joy. This is an important way to keep yourself consistent, really, by not waiting to arrive, by making the progress fun and celebrating and acknowledging your progress. Allow yourself to feel that pride. And I bet you could do that right now. I bet you can. I bet there are things about you right now that you don't even think about as something you can celebrate. But if you think about it, about where you are right now, the things you have, the progress you made, you are running laps around the old version of you. And think about it. How many times have you had that moment of realizing or reflecting on how far you came? And you look back and you say, yeah, I done came a long way. I remember when I used to only do this, or when all I had was that, or how I could only do this. And now look at me. And we all have that, right? All of us. And more than likely, these are from moments that we wasn't even being intentional about making progress towards something. They're just memories and reflections from just life and how we made progress based off of what life and the universe and God gave to us. So what if you made it a point, a process of working towards something, towards a goal or success, and you made it a point to get better at it, to get to that finish line and to look back along the way? You'll have things to celebrate in real time. You just will. But you have to be intentional about it. Be focused on the joy and the dopamine you get as you celebrate the person you're becoming along the way. Don't wait to get to the finish line before you do. Because just like you can look back and see just because you live life, you can see how far you came just by living life, right? And there were bumps in the road and ups and downs. You better believe you're going to experience that along the way when you work towards something. It ain't going to be easy. So don't allow yourself to experience the bumps and the frustrating and the negative moments without allowing yourself to also experience the highs and the fun and the milestones and the joy and the celebrating of the progress you're making along the way. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.